Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time to dive back into Oxygen Not Included Spaced Out. Starting with our lovely duplicants Camille, Devon and Otto. This is going to be the ultimate base 3.0. We already had two previous series, both of which lasted for thousands of cycles. This time around I wanted to force me to use the rocketry program more extensively, so I disabled all teleporters. Furthermore, I'm not going to accept any care packages out of the printing part unless it is the only way to still get access to an item in the game. Mods used and the save game are in the description, so without any further ado, let's get this started. Observing the immediate surroundings, our biggest problem in the first cycle is going to be getting access to water. We're probably going to do this on the left side here, so I'm thinking of building my initial bath and bedrooms on the left side. And so let's say approximately 10 tiles over, we are gonna start digging. This is going to be my shaft and right here is gonna be the main ladder. Right here I would like to leave 3 tiles free, then we have the space for a door, and as of this point we will start with our rooms. Our rooms generally are gonna be 16 tiles in width. This will give us a room size of 64 tiles, meaning it goes all the way up to here, okay? That means right at this point I want to start digging everything up 16 tiles in width. We are gonna avoid digging up the plants so it goes a little bit quicker. And I want to make a 4-high room, which is then exactly 64 tiles. Wonderful. As mentioned, we also need a quick way down to the water, which we're gonna do here. And immediately next to it we're gonna dig up another room 64 tiles. There would be our little door and another door here. Okay, we can start digging. My duplicants are just gonna go nuts, and as soon as I have some materials, it's time to place at least ladders. Let's do every second step. And I also want to disable some digging commands so they don't do anything unnecessary. Let's say we don't need that much space just yet. We're gonna make the duplicant sleep on the top and use the bathroom here at the bottom. So let's hop into plumbing and outhouses. We're gonna start with an outhouse here, and I believe we have the space for 4 of them. So we have to dig up until this place at least. Let's do that. And I also would like to see 2 wash basins to wash off the germs. On the top we're gonna hop into furniture and set up a bunch of cots. I believe we could do this right at the beginning here. We're gonna start with 3 of them for our 3 duplicants. And with that out of the way, we can dig up some more stuff. Let them do their thing. In the meantime, I'm gonna hop into schedule and I want to make sure that they don't have too much downtime here. Just 1 slot and then 2 bedtime slots should be enough for the first day. We want to make sure we can get the important stuff going, maybe get some muck root out of these cracks. By the way, if you want more explanation about the game, I highly recommend you to watch my Ultimate Base series, where I explain everything quite in detail, also give you as many tips as possible. I'm also gonna mention as many things as possible in this series, but since my older series aren't that outdated just yet, I want to make sure not to waste too much time on explaining the trivial things. I'm still gonna go through why and how I'm doing things. If possible, we also set up a bunch of doors already. We are having trouble with no oxygen in the room. I think we could do something about that by giving this priority 6 and just exposing a little bit of oxalite so we get fresh oxygen in the room. And there we go, oxalite is doing its thing, flooding the room with the precious oxygen. In the meantime, we go further back down here in order to set up a pitcher pump here in plumbing, and this way we will be getting the water out of it. We got our wash bases in the joint. Let's go ahead, set up the direction. We want them to only wash their hands going out of the toilet. In the meantime, Camille is setting up the pitcher pump here, holding her breath. You can do it, girl. And there it is. Devon is already grabbing a bottle of water, 200 kilograms of it, and he's gonna fill up one of these stations. Wonderful. Also, the outhouses will have to be filled with dirt. And of course these buildings will end up producing polluted dirt and polluted water. Okay, there's 1 more cot missing, and then I believe we are already done with the first 2 rooms, which is great. So we can do more trivial things like digging up the rest of the rooms. I'm also already gonna go up here because I would like to see a ceiling to this room as soon as possible. And that is hopefully exactly what we can achieve here. It is time to speed things up a little bit. I like to play at speed 2 here. It is the most comfortable speed to me. Also, I want to open up these doors permanently so they don't waste time actually going through them. Okay, we're actually already ready for the first night and we still have a little bit of work time left, which is great. So we can already get started on the rooms for cycle 2. Maybe one more thing we could do is set the ration box to priority 9 and set all edible things to go in there, so they pick up the muckroot and nutrient bars in case we have some here in the bathroom. I don't want my duplicants to eat them with all the germs. And there we go, they actually had quite a bit of muckroot to pick up, so I'm glad I thought of that before the day was over. One thing I can already tell you is I'm gonna be very picky about the duplicants I'm getting because I intend to play for many hundreds if not thousands of cycles again. And this game, maybe contrary to popular belief, is not a time-sensitive game. Anyways, they're now taking their pooping break, hopefully enjoying their privacy here behind the doors, and they are now also going to eat after washing their hands, which is perfect. Maybe in cycle 2 we can already get started with the research and everything. I want to wait for them to actually go to bed now. Come on guys, nighttime is almost over. Oh my gosh, they are actually not going to bed. Maybe I'm just gonna increase that a little bit. We are gonna change the schedule anyways in just a second. But I want to make sure they reach their beds in time. Okay, they did. Now it's time to make some schedules and everything, set up the priorities. We are ready to adjust everything according to our duplicant skills before their next shift. Going through everything in the beginning is slightly tedious, but it is well worth it. Let's start with the schedules. I want to set up 3 schedules to distribute the workload across various dupes during various daytimes. Since we only have 3 duplicants at the moment, this is not necessary. However, they need one more downtime slot in the beginning when they don't have to walk that much. This is enough. They also don't need a necessary bath time slot. They will use the bathroom in their downtime. I don't want to waste too much time. Later on, I'm still gonna adjust this and give them more downtime. Let's quickly talk about our duplicant skills. I have 3 duplicants with specific skills, starting with Camille as our digger and builder. Devon on the other side is gonna be our researcher, and whenever he has nothing to research, he's also gonna take care of the farming. Eventually, we will have everything researched, so Devon is gonna be a dedicated farmer in the future. Last but not least, we have Otto, which is gonna be our cook, and he's also gonna do some hauling around in the beginning. So let's have a look at the priorities menu and set everything up. First of all, I want to disallow everything. I only want specific duplicants to take care of. For instance, the cooking or the researching, only specific duplicants are gonna do. Same thing with the farming and ranching. Also, I only would like certain duplicants to attack when I tell them to. Doctoring, also rocketry, I'm gonna disallow that. Decorating is also gonna be a dedicated job. Camille's highest priority is going to be attacking, followed by digging and building. Devon on the other side is going to be our researcher, but I would like him to prioritize farming, especially in the beginning, so we only really do research when we have nothing to farm. I'm also going to downgrade his digging and building priorities. And then finally Otto, who is going to be our cook, so that is going to be the highest priority. Right after cooking, we want him to take care of supplying and storing. At the moment we don't have life support and toggling covered or operating. I want to make sure that Devon, our researcher, is going to take care of operating whenever he has nothing else to do, at least until we have another duplicant. So I'm going to downgrade supplying and storing for him as well. Also toggling and life support. He shall focus on operating if there's nothing to research. Finally, Otto for now should focus on life support as well until we have more duplicants who can do that. Also, if I want to toggle something, I want this to be done quick. Let's upgrade that with Devon. We will have to go back into this menu whenever we get new duplicants so we can distribute this better. But certain tasks, really, like toggling, I want to be done fast. This is also not something that happens all the time. Last but not least, I would like my duplicants to prioritize proximity over chronological order. Enabling this setting will make the duplicants go to the nearest task with the highest priority first instead of the one that you set up first. And with that out of the way, we should be ready for the next day. Here it is, ready for work. Camille has to use the toilet first, obviously. Maybe now it's time to upgrade this. We want as many toilets and wash basins as we have duplicants in one shift. In today's cycle, I also would like to get started with our research. So we're gonna put our research station right next to the printing pod. The reason we do that is if we work under light, the duplicants work more efficiently. The research station obviously is gonna require some power. We're gonna set up 2 batteries here. We're also gonna set up a manual generator, and finally I think here it's time to set up the oxygen diffuser. This thing runs on algae, which we have plenty of here, and it's gonna be our oxygen provider for the first dozens of cycles. I'm also already gonna build a proper flooring, maybe take away that. And of course one thing we cannot forget about is the wiring. We're gonna connect all of these together. At this point I would like to exchange all of the flooring here and there. Make this look a little bit nicer. I think I'm actually gonna expand all the way to here, and right here I would like to see a storage bin that we're gonna populate with algae. The thing is, whenever duplicants have to bring something to a machine, it is usually less than they can carry. So imagine they are gonna go all over the place just to pick up a little bit of algae, put that in the diffuser. Instead, they could haul an entire load, bring it to the storage bin, and then take from the storage bin to fill up the diffuser. Much more efficient. Also, by building the floor just now, all of these items are gonna drop down and we are gonna be clutter-free, though I didn't consider the ceiling here. They should have built this first, but what you gonna do? In today's cycle, I definitely want to get the research all done, so let's set some priority here. The storage bin here for the algae, I'm gonna set to priority 4, and we're gonna set up algae. There we go. Now all the duplicants, whenever they have nothing else to do, are gonna pick up the algae, bring it over there. And there it is, completed manual generator. Somebody will actually hop on it. Devon, perfect. That is what we set the priorities to. The batteries are going to be filled up, and afterwards we can do some research. The first research I would like to get out of the way is the path to cooking and farming. So we're going to go for basic farming and meal preparation. The first research station is going to use up a little bit of dirt. I would say it's now time to start tracking a couple of things. We're going to clear everything, and instead we want to track things we know we're gonna use, such as coal and dirt. Also algae would be nice to track, and this way we kind of have a time frame until we need to switch to other materials and systems. In the future I don't want this ladder shaft here, so I think I want to dig my way over to the real ladder shaft, which is gonna go right there, and we're gonna set up a ladder in the center in order to get to the next level right there, where we're gonna start our farm. Ah, wonderful. Everyone can poop at the same time. It's a marvelous thing. Another thing I would like to take care of right off the bat is make a system where I can keep my eggs and everything. If we do something like this, go down 3 tiles plus another one, I believe at least we have to test it. They will not be able to reach anything at the bottom, but they will still be able to put something in the storage bin. And what I would like to do is grab all of the eggs that we currently have laying around, put them in the storage bin, and just keep them here in order to do something with later on. If we lose all the hatchlings in this world, we are gonna be in trouble because we cannot get any more. And I want to avoid at all costs accepting care packages. Our first research is completed. We get access to the algae terrarium, another source of oxygen. We also have the planter box and the ration box. Ration box is good. We need to place that somewhere else eventually. Camille is doing an absolutely fabulous job in digging and building, I have to say. Props to her work ethics. We got our first sets of duplicants. As mentioned, I'm not in a hurry. We have everything in order to survive for a long time until we accept a perfect duplicant. This is not what I imagined my next duplicant to be, so we're gonna reject everything. But over the course of 1000 cycles, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get some super dupes. There it is, the little cubbyhole completed. Let's make sure all of the eggs, critter eggs, are landing in this chest. And we also want to make this a fairly high priority, maybe 7. Just before the end of the day, we were able to complete another research, the most important one. Now we can actually go for the mess table, I believe. Do we already have it? Yeah, look at that. We already got the mess table. I would suggest we're gonna build the mess hall here on the top, making sure that we actually get access to this. Yeah, let me just finish the framing here. Remove all the clutter. We go up here a little bit more in order to be able to reach all of that. We're gonna need a door for all the nifty room bonuses. Maybe let's have a look at that. Barracks is gonna give us +1 morale. Latrine, another +1, and then finally the Great Hall is gonna give us +6. So that is kind of a killer. We will be able to skill up off of those stats for quite a bit. First thing I would like to do is plan out the farm area. We're gonna have 5 of these farm tiles next to each other, and then let me see, this is gonna go all the way to here. I'm gonna leave 2 spaces free and build another 5 tiles. So maybe let's do it like so. Nice and symmetrical once the rooms are completed. And we just want to get started with these farm tiles. Now we're gonna build 3 of these sets because we have 3 duplicants. We cannot produce too much food, as you might know. Food spoils much more easily in this version of the game than the previous series, so we don't want to overdo it. But there it is, we already got our mess tables in the joint. If we have a look at furniture, no, actually we need to go to research something else in decor, I believe. Man, all of that stuff we have to research, but there it is. We want a flower pot and we also want something else. Let me see. Can we grab yeah, that's it. A water cooler. So there's 2 more researches I would like to complete right now. Here we have the first farm tiles. Let's make sure we plant some mealwood right away. Right here we can see this is going to require 10 kilograms of dirt per cycle. Also we end up with 600 kilocalories of meal lice every 3 cycles right there. That means if a duplicant eats 1000 kilocalories a day, we need 5 of these plants, 200 per plant, to have enough for 1 normal duplicant. This is exactly why I set them up in sets of 5 for the meal lice. Eventually we're also gonna deal with other plants such as bristle blossoms, which only gonna require 3 plants I believe per duplicant. But the main thing is we want to get started with enough meal lice for our 3 initial duplicants. The flower pot research has been completed. I'm gonna set up 2 of them on either side of the room. I think eventually I also would like to give the duplicants some lights in here. However, we are not going to activate them just yet. We don't want to deal with the power consumption or the heat generation just yet. But back in research we go for employment now. So we get a water cooler and a crafting station. And as you can see, this works. We got the only egg so far in the chest. We can then disable all the critter eggs. And technically nobody should be able to reach this egg. No, Otto can actually do it because of the ladder. Yeah, sure. We have to put the ladder 1 more up. Normally I don't do this, but since I don't want to accept care packages, it's just a necessity if we ever want to start ranching them. One last thing I'm gonna do in today's episode is set up a kitchen area. This is gonna go right there. Nearby the kitchen area here at the very bottom, I also would like to see my main ration box. For now, we're just gonna put it there because all the carbon dioxide is accumulating here and it actually decreases food spoilage by 4%, contrary to having it in oxygen. We then probably want to set up the usual stuff, a microbe musher, an electric grill, and potentially an egg cracker, just so that we have it. Of course, we also need to connect this with the power. That's not what I wanted to do. I guess all of this is gonna change eventually. For now, we're just gonna go straight down here and there. But there it is, an electric grill. What a beauty. Let's set up the diet before wrapping up the episode. I also got my water cooler here that I'm gonna place in the center of the room. I think somebody got their first skill points. Yes, Camille. We want to go into hard digging right away, giving her a mining hat. Of course, the hat is just a visual thing, but they love it. We're gonna go ahead, plant some briar seeds in these flower pots. Also, Otto earned a skill point. Obviously, we want to go into grilling right away. This is gonna be the most important one. Otto is our cook. Last but not least, we got Devon upgraded. We need to go for advanced research right away because we need that pretty early in the game. And so here he is getting injected. Look at his face, he loves it. But there we go, we got all the mealwood planted. All we need to do is wait for the first one to actually arrive in the base. And then we get the option here in the electric grill to do something about it. Also in this ration box, as of this point, we're gonna keep everything edible, though muckroot and nutrient bars do not spoil. I'm gonna keep them up here in order to have more space in this lower chest. I also would like to set up a general storage bin over here that I'm gonna set to sweep only, and whenever I have the time I would like to see my duplicants clean some stuff up. Also this water cooler, we would like to disable the building. They are gonna use water and that is not something I wanna allow in the beginning. Look at this, I thought we got the perfect duplicant with a +9 husbandry and then morale boost, but he's got also a critter aversion. So it's only really +6 husbandry. So he's not perfect. There is the storage bin. We basically only want to do sweep only, keep everything in here and then set this to a very low priority. This can be as low as priority 1 because if we have a storage bin with a higher priority, I want these items to go over there so algae doesn't land in here. That means whenever we get the time for it, I would like them to clean up this side here first, get those items to a centralized location. Maybe another thing we want to take care of is the dumping of the polluted water and polluted dirt that we'll get eventually. We're gonna use a bottle emptier right here to dump the polluted water, and then inside of the polluted water we can have a storage bin for the polluted dirt. Whenever it is submerged in water, it is not gonna off-gas any germs. Of course, right now we cannot set it because we didn't get our first polluted water just yet. Whenever this sweep storage bin becomes too full, we can just go ahead and disable everything, enable it again, and it's just gonna drop here on the floor with infinite storage, but not cluttering our entire base. Come on, mealwood, you can do it. Grow, grow. That's what I'm talking about. It is amazing, and Devon comes immediately. Wonderful, we got our first meal lice. That means inside of the electric grill, we now get the option of pickled meal, and we want to cook that forever. The reason we want to do that is meal lice spoils much quicker. I mean, much quicker, like 4 times as quickly as the pickled meal. Also within consumables, we want to disallow the eating of the raw meal lice. Instead, we just want to do the cooked version that we cannot select just yet, but it is going to be selected automatically. We still allow macroot and nutrient bars. We basically want to use those up. But yeah, over the next few days, we should see Otto doing a lot of cooking here, already bringing the meal lice. We will then store the pickled meal here down in the ration box. As a matter of fact, we are also going to store the meal lice itself here at the bottom in case we cannot cook them up just yet. Another good thing about cooking things up is that we are going to get rid of all the potential germs that accumulate here. At the moment, this is certainly not a problem. Otto is doing his first cooking. This is just amazing. You're gonna be a fabulous dupe. He went on a break before finishing the recipe. You're gonna be a horrible dupe. Anyways, you get the basic gist. This is our little colony start. I hope you enjoyed it. These episodes are gonna be a little bit shorter. However, I would like to load them up more frequently. I hope you like that change contrary to the previous series. But here we are. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night's sleep and see you in the next one. Bye bye.